Okay, so welcome everyone to my podcast. Today is number 17. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about 117. Master your emotion and find your truth. This is the name of the podcast. So let's go dive into number 17 at the beginning before I'm going to introduce my guest today. So 1 7. So one is number of the creation, and seven is a number of pretty powerful intuitive sense, which is the sixth sense, and also an ideas, calmness, and standing up for the truth. Number seven is magical number. So the 17 is a really magical number because we can linking into the so many events in our lives and also in the collective lives. By the way, just only I gave you that briefly what is number 17, and you can go research. So today, my guest, beautiful soul, Dave Murphy. Is I'm correct saying that Murphy?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, because I couldn't pronounce the name on the screen, to be honest. I'm trying very hard. So that's why you only use the name from your YouTube channel and said it. Okay, that would be much more easier.
Well, let's hear you try it.
Uh, I just, oh gosh.
Allegedly.
Oh, thank you. Would you mind say again?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, almost
Yeah.
done. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
You know that stuff you just only use. That's your statement. So that's your. Okay. Would you mind just only introduce yourself a little bit? So some of the audience completely don't know who you are as a soul, and definitely they are spiritual awakening people. Also, maybe you're going to plant the seeds. Let's see. Can you tell us a bit more about
Right.
yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name's Dave, and I started off basically in the Matrix. I was a computer programmer on Wall Street. So my life was about well, essentially about making money and getting the big house and the fast car and all the toys. And Yeah, I was deep into that, and I actually managed to end up seeing certain things. So I was there for the so-called computer crash that never was back in the 2000s when all the computers were going to crash. So I was in the middle of that. I ended up going to America to help on that effort.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was there for the internet crash. I was there for 9/11, and I was there for the financial crash of 2008. And every time I was in the middle of it, I was literally across the water watching 9/11. I was actually writing the systems that managed the credit default swaps and the collateralized debt obligations that caused the housing crash of 2008.
Wow.
So literally, I feel like I was led to be in certain places to witness things. So
Yeah.
and what those events did for me was essentially strip away. I'm not allowed, I don't know if I'm allowed to say bullshit, but I just did.
You allow everything. What would you like to say? You can say it. That's you allow because you are free. So you are free soul to speak your truth. So
Well, so yeah, it allowed me to strip away all the stuff that I used to think was important.
mm-hmm.
So this sort of awakening this is when I was about 42 years old. That awakening happened also my midlife crisis. So literally, I was going through that phase of going, what am I doing here? What is all this? Why am is all this all there is? And all these
Yeah.
questions. And then I started finding out that the world wasn't the way I thought it was. My life wasn't the way I thought it was. I wasn't who I thought I was.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and it kind of came to a head one day. I bought myself a Ferrari, and so I was out in the Ferrari, and I stopped at some traffic lights, and a group of people walked across the road, and they stood on the side of the road looking at the car, and I sat looking forward. Then I looked at them, and I looked forward again. And I thought, hang on a minute, I'm in a car. From where I'm sitting, I can't tell I'm in a Ferrari. I could be in a Ford Fiesta for all I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
did I buy this car for me or for them?
Yeah.
And after a long, dark night of the soul, I realized I bought it for them. And then the car became meaningless. It became just a very expensive toy. Then I looked at my big house and realized there was only four of us rattling around in this big house. And we were much happier when we were all together in a small bungalow. Why have we got this big house? Well, we got it for everybody else to see how well we're doing. And everything, all the threads I started to tug at, all started to unravel. I realized my job wasn't what I thought it was. It was actually harming people. Um, so everything I started looking at in my life just started to collapse. And I realized every time I found a new truth about the world and myself, I had to change. I had to change it. So I ended up, my marriage ended. I left America. I couldn't go back to work in computers anymore. So I decided to help people for free. I came across that phrase, be the change you want to see in the world. And the change I want to see in the world is people working together without any thought of reward.
Yeah.
This culture is all about getting us to compete with each other. There's finite resources out there, and that's artificial as well. But there are finite resources, and your job in this world is to get enough resources to make you comfortable, and you're competing with everyone else out there to get yours, right? And there's never enough to go around, so it almost forces you to become psychopathic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So my view is that if I could start doing this, helping people for free, and still somehow survive, then it must be easier for other people to do it. And then somebody might see me do it and want to do it themselves, and it might spread that way. And so the idea I had was I would work really, really hard for 3 months and put some money together, and hopefully that money would last about 6 months, and I could do this thing for free for 6 months. Then I'd go back in a matrix for 3 months, do the same thing, and see if I can stretch it to 9 months.
Yeah. Oh.
So and so on and so on. Yeah. So I did the first 6 months, and now it's been about 10 years.
Oh my God, that's a long time. Wow.
Yeah. And one of the things I found out along this journey was that the world doesn't work the way we think it does. Yeah. You
Yeah.
think that, and I thought when I embarked on this, it was going to be hardship. It was going to be, how am I going to survive if I'm not, making money? How am I going to live? What's going to happen to me? The world doesn't work that way. Yeah,
No.
we've
Yeah.
been fooled into believing that you have to use the system, you have to
To
go to
make.
work, you have to, watch your bank balance and all this stuff. No, it's not true. The world works very differently, and the world is here to support you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's designed to support you, and if you trust it and you believe in it, right, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So how we can
And
trust? How we can trust them? So how we can trust? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, the easy to say, can you trust? You have to trust. You have to believe it in yourself." How did you trust yourself?
well, there is only one way. There is only one way to trust. Yeah, it is, and actually, this is where I got it from. And part of my journey was looking at the New Age movement and stuff, and I was in that for a
Hmm.
while. Uh, and I came out of it again. But somebody I became acquainted with in the New Age was a guy called Alan Watts. I don't know if you come
Okay.
across him. You
Yeah,
come across him?
yeah,
A philosopher, yeah.
yeah.
And one of his little talks, a very sort of short segment of a talk, spoke about how you can trust in the world, right? And it's like taking a dive off a cliff in the dark and trusting that there's a feather bed at the bottom for you to land in.
Yeah. Oh,
Now, the only way to trust, the only way to know is to make that leap and knowing that, you're going to be all right. Yeah. And you can stand on that cliff edge making all sorts of excuses going, no, I can't do it. There's no way I can be sure that there's no rocks under there. And,
yeah.
you can stay there, but it takes you to make that leap and go, it might hurt, but let's see.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing. I actually bought myself a motorhome, and then the universe, or I say the universe, the Most High, basically gave me a kick up the bum, and all of a sudden my lease, the people who I was renting off, came back to the country and said, we want our house back. You got until Friday to leave, and that's it. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to have to leave then. And so I had nowhere. I didn't know where I was going to go. I was meant to leave on the Monday, and on Friday I had no idea where I was going to go. I thought, okay, well, don't know what I'm going to do. And then Friday night, somebody gave me a call and said, Dave, we're having a gathering on the land for a long weekend. Do you want to come? I was like, okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
that was my first destination. So I went there, and while I was there, I got instructions on where to go next, and so on and so on. And again,
Wow.
it's been over 10 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. That's how we're supposed to trust. Actually, how I can say, yeah, that's definitely, if you don't have a trust inside us, definitely we're going to blindly. We just only start believing the matrix. We've got that illusion in front of us. I had the illusion as well 15 years ago. I was completely blind, but now I'm just only thinking, oh, why I've done this, why I've done this. But always from the beginning, when I was born, I was questioning. Anyway, that's why the people didn't like me at all. They saying I'm a stranger. But anyway, I love that stuff. I love that stuff. But the trusting. So I'm just only sensing you've been guided all day long, all these years. So the angels, I don't know, universe, God. I don't care too much about who do you believe, because definitely everything is together. Every coming from the same place. So like that. So it's amazing. Oh, thank you for the sharing that story. That's
Well,
amazing.
I can tell you who I believe in.
Oh
Well, it's
yes,
not belief now; it's a knowing.
yeah,
Um,
that's true. Beliefs are limiting
so
us.
it is. Um, so my journey, I realize now, has been a journey to find the face of the Most High.
Mhm.
Because for 40 years I was an atheist. Didn't want anything to do with the Bible, God, whatever. Didn't
Mhm,
want
mhm.
anything to do with it at all. But on this journey, the book kept popping up in front of me and saying, yeah, what you're looking at right now is in this book. And so I look at that little bit and go, oh, it is. Oh, that's interesting. And then the third time it happened, I thought, well, you know what? If something presents itself to me three times, it's usually a sign for me to go and look at it.
Yes.
So the third time it happened, I thought, well, I'm going to have to read this book now. And I read it. I read it through three times, cover to cover. And at the end of it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to research the Old Testament, because I realized that that book is a story. It's a real story that hasn't finished yet. It's still going on right now, and we're players in that story. It's an amazing story, and by researching that book, I actually started to find my heritage.
Mhm.
My who I really am, and it's on the pages of that book. Um, and so yeah, it's been amazing. So now I know that the most high creator of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is real, and he's working in this world, as we speak.
Yeah, that's
Which
true.
I would never have thought of myself of saying that 6 or 7 years ago. If I could hear myself now, I'd probably slap myself.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's amazing. That's how we are changing, because you remind me myself. I was saying, go, oh, yesterday I just only found my story. I was mm, 20 years ago, 24 years ago, I started writing the book, and I was 20 then or something like that. But anyway, that was, I found the paper. I was just only writing, I was only saying the God, the Bible, and everything. And then I said, now at the moment, I'm not defining the God, I'm defining, like you said, the creator, the much more powerful source, sorry, energy, life force, just giving me that body, giving me that beautiful soul. I'm a part of it. So that's how I can see. As long as I'm just loving others, I'm loving myself, and I'm helping them, and I'm helping myself, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm actually, I'm not fine. I don't like this word.
mm,
I'm
yeah.
really good. Yeah, I know that meaning, but I'm really good. So definitely like that. So yeah, I couldn't believe what I wrote a long time ago, but that was a really good and meaning words as well. You mentioned, I just started watching last week the podcast with that beautiful soul again. That was the Harry, the soul coach, and you've
Mhm.
been talking about the beautiful topics, a beautiful subject, but also you mentioned something about the real truth and plastic one. What does that really mean?
Hmm. Um, the real truth. I can't remember. I can't remember the
I
conversation I was
know,
having there,
I know,
but
but I'm just only dissecting everything. That's how I just find the
um,
points.
there's when you say that, I could go in several different directions with that
Please,
phrase,
please. Yeah.
because because I just explained one aspect of it, that we think that the commercial financial construct we call the world is
Mm-hmm,
real, right? And that's the only way that you can get things done.
mm-hmm.
So if you want to do something in this world, the commercial financial construct will say, right, well, you have to go to school and get qualified to be able to do a job, um, to earn money. And while you're earning money,
Yeah,
you have to have somewhere to live. So you have to pay for a house, and you're going to have to get a car to get to work. So you have to pay for that. You got to pay tax, MOT, insurance, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and jump through this hoop and jump through that hoop. And maybe, if you're lucky, you can get to do what you want to do. Right. Well, the real world
no.
doesn't work like that. The real world is, you want to do something and you have the passion to do it. Right. You focus on it, and then all of a sudden you find you're doing it. Yeah. Um, a good example is, okay, if a couple wanted to have a baby, right? Um, Now you could do the system way, and sit down and work out how much it's going to cost you to have this baby. Yeah. And if you do that, you'll find there is no way in the world you're going to be able to afford to have a
Yes,
baby.
true,
Yeah?
completely true.
No way. And that's it. It's like, no way you can slice it, no way you can have that. But if you go, oh, we want to have a baby. Let's have a baby, right? You have it, and what happens is all the obstacles that you thought of on that piece of paper, right, just go away, and
Yeah,
you do it. Yeah, that's the way the world works. Yeah, how it really works. Um, and we can there's proof out there that it works. Um, Anyone who's ever manifested a parking space, right? Have you ever
yeah,
done
that's
that?
me. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I just so
Okay.
many times it's when you're driving, say, please, Thank you for that space. I'm saying thank you for that space, and then space there. But sometimes the space is too narrow to fit in. I said, I've asked. But anyway, I drove away and I'm coming back, and that was a much bigger one.
Well, another example is, and I use this a lot. Say you wanted to buy a new car, and you say, "Oh, I'd like a red Ford Fiesta." The very first thing that happens is you start seeing red Ford Fiestas everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Now, most people think that what it is that now you're attuned to noticing when a red Ford Fiesta goes past. No, that's not true. The moment you start focusing on a red Ford Fiesta, statistically, more red Ford Fiestas are going to appear in front of you. Yeah, not because of any other reason, but you focusing on them draws them into you. Yeah. It's like the world goes, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? Yeah. So you are affecting the world around you. Yeah, you are shaping the world. And when you look at the Old Testament, and you have to look at that book without the lenses of the New Testament, because I know this is going to be unpopular for some people, but the New Testament is there to lead you away from the truth. Okay. If you read the Old Testament, you'll find that Adam was created as the governor of this world. He was meant to be immortal, right? And he was going to be the immortal governor of this world. And it was created in the image of the Most High. The Most High created this universe. Adam was also a creator. He had the power of being able to shape this creation. Okay. Yeah. So humans have the power to shape this world in any way we want it. That's the whole point of this world.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true, because sometimes sometimes we are just caught up in the illusion. We just only suppressed. We've been told, don't do this, don't go there. You need to be living in the fear all the time. You have to scare about these people, and don't stay alone in your house because somebody come and catch you or something like that. We've been told so many times. But people that's really, really thinking they're getting crazy when they see completely different way of the state, different I would like to say different reality, and they thinking that's not normal. So what is normal, what is not normal? So I strongly believe, that's my belief, I strongly believe my normal is my normal. Somebody's normal is somebody's normal. So that's how just only see. I would like to just only, I'm really curious about something, because I started working with the autistic children. So if you've got any experience, I just only connected the dots. And I would like to just only see your perspective about the pictures, because in the communication between each other, we are using the pictures. Some people showed me in that place, oh, you can use the pictures so they can communicate with you. And also I connected that pictures with the first language of the humans. So how is your perspective about the autistic children? They are much more high dimensions, and they really knew what's going on, and they really, really real, pure, I would like to say soul, or just only human. I don't know, that kind of the things. I would like to know your perspective.
Well, we are actually the low functioning ones, actually, because we are trapped. We're trapped in using the left-hand side of our brains and using these languages that are totally left-hand side of brain based. Yeah. Okay, so we're essentially disabled because we're kind of stuck here. Yeah, and all of our schooling, whole of our education system is about training this side of your brain. Okay. The original language of mankind, which was a language of pictures, right, works in a completely different way, and it's not based in the left-hand side of the brain at all. It's a language where you know what it means intuitively. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should. Almost every time I do a talk or an interview, I end up giving this little example. Should I give you the example of the
Yes,
difference
please.
between the
Yeah,
language?
that's everyone's watching,
Okay.
so that's supposed to be like that. So then they need to
Okay.
take something.
Yes. Just
Please.
anybody who's seen me before are going, oh no, not this again. Yeah.
No, that's good. That repetition, repetition, repetition. Let's go reprogram that our subconscious mind. Let's go just plant the seeds.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little demonstration of what's the difference between the original language of mankind and these silly languages that we use today. So I'm going to describe a film to you in English, and you have to guess what the film is. Okay.
Okay.
So a man on the autistic spectrum recounts his life to strangers. What's the film?
The film is about the autistic children.
Yeah, do you know what the film's called?
Not really.
Nothing comes to mind. I'll say again: a man on the autistic spectrum recounts his life to strangers.
Oh, it's far, far away in my head. I couldn't remember this. That was a film.
Describe.
I've got this name of the movie, but I couldn't actually I forgot the name. Oh God. Oh, okay, that could be a Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Okay. Now, a lot of people have said Rain Man,
Really?
Beautiful Mind, I Am Sam, Awakenings. There's been lots of guesses to this, but you guessed Forrest Gump. So what happened there when I was describing the film to you, you were listening to the sounds I was making, fetching the words and the meanings of those words, and then comparing them to a list of films you've seen. And you guessed at Forrest Gump. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a guess because, it's an imperfect match. You have to guess at what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So
something new. That's good.
Right. So I'm gonna tell you the same film. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not. I'm going to tell you the same film in Paleo Hebrew. Okay. Now, Paleo Hebrew is a language of pictures, as I said, and so I'm going to use emojis. Okay. Right. So, man running, a group of trees, a park bench, a box of chocolates, a shrimp, and a boat. What's the film?
Oh, I'm not really good at the movie, but I can describe some kind of the situation, to be honest.
No, okay. It obviously didn't work on you this time.
Not on me, not on me. But to be honest, because sometimes I'm just only watching a lot of movie, but I couldn't remember the name of the movie. I'm just only picking up the specific situation from the movie, which one is good for me. So that's how is my brain working. Just only picking up and just only absorbing that information, or just only giving.
So no film comes to mind. No
Which you might say again. Men running.
Okay, a man running. Yeah, a few trees, a park bench, a box of chocolates, a shrimp, and a boat.
Really, I know that was the kind of the movie Box of Chocolate. Not at all.
Okay, well, that hopefully most people listening to this would have gone Forrest Gump. Would have gone Forrest Gump. Okay.
Where's the box of chocolate?
Because Forrest Gump, right, in the first scene, he's sitting on a park bench with a box of chocolates,
eating
and he's saying, "Life is like a box of chocolates," you know.
I need to rewatch it then. See.
Right. So yes, anyone who's watched the film and remembers it will, when I give those pictures out, it will just suddenly, they'll know what the film is. Okay. Because the left hand side of the brain can't get involved, it can't analyze pictures. So it's cut out the whole process.
Yeah.
So people listen to what I'm saying, they image the pictures in their head, and then all of a sudden they know what the film is. It just wells up from inside of them. They know the film. Yeah.
May I just interrupt you? Would you mind just only say in the picture, the film, actually that's the musical, if you can, Mamma Mia, because that's really no, I really, did you watch the Mamma Mia?
I've never seen it.
That's the oceans, so we can just only put, yeah, that would be better, because then I would be just
Okay.
saying, yes, that's Mamma Mia, or any kind
Yeah.
of.
If okay, if I said alien face, all right, boy's face, satellite dish, telephone, bicycle, moon.
Oh, that's a UFO. It's coming to my head.
Again,
I'm
you have
so
to be a film
strange.
watcher.
I told you.
Yeah, you have to be a film watcher because most people would see that or think of E.T.,
Yeah,
the
that's it.
film
It's coming.
E.T. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
See, I told you I'm
it's a
so
shame.
strange. I'm so no, it's not. No shame at all. But the people just only watching guys, they start watching, they know what you are talking about. And also, I told you I'm strange. I'm very strange.
But
I'm just only
the point
focusing in the
is
book.
that it's a different way of of understanding language. Okay, it's and it doesn't work, you know, on the left hand side of the brain at all, which is where we've been programmed. It works here and here, and especially this part. I guess both parts actually are what's connected to everything. You know, your subconscious is connected to not only everything in the universe, but past, present, and future. It knows the future, it knows the past, it knows everything. And you have a connection to it, to everything that ever is and ever was and ever will be. Right? You've got a connection to it. Now, if you remember when I said about Adam being a creator, I said humans have the ability, you know, man has the ability to be a creator. In the Old Testament, there's a story of fallen angels, angels coming down and having sex with women,
Yeah,
and creating a second race called the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Now, the Nephilim do not have that ability. They were never created in the image of the Most High. Okay, they don't have that ability, and they are the ones who are ruling this earth right now. And they've used our ability to shape this world, to shape it in the image that they want it in, because we've forgotten how to be creators. We've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten our place in the world.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
completely, yeah, it's okay. That's completely true, because we just only been conditioned, we've been suppressed. And anyway, that was a whole program, and we still rely on something. Oh, somebody's coming save us. Somebody's coming to do the things for us. I've been that place. I've been just only waiting. I've been just only asking, and nowadays I think, no, that's my responsibility. So can you tell a little bit more to the people who are watching us how we can step to our power, how we can take our power back? I mean, in any kind of the aspects of our life. That could be a financial, that could be I don't know, in the spiritual way, whatever it comes to your head, to your heart.
Well, the first thing we need to do is to grow up, which
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
might sound a bit you know, disrespectful, you know, but no, we've been kept as children in this society, right? So we never find out who we are. You know, we're too distracted to even go and look. Yeah. there are so many distractions to keep us busy, and yeah, I mean, one of them, biggest distraction, is having to do a job. Right? It's no accident they call it an occupation to keep you occupied. You
Yeah,
know, busyness to keep you busy.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Um, so you never find out who you are. And I like the story of the eagle's egg. Okay, so
Okay.
imagine a farmer is walking down the road and he sees this eagle's egg that's obviously fallen out of a tree, but it's not damaged. So he picks up the eagle's egg and he takes it and he puts it under one of his hens. Okay,
Yes.
a little while later, that eagle hatches with a whole bunch of chicks. Okay,
An eagle
um,
between.
an eagle, yes, but the eagle doesn't know it's an eagle. it so it thinks it's a chick. So
Wow.
it pecks around in the ground and acts like all the other chicks because it doesn't know any better. And it might look up in the sky and go, "Oh wow, what's that? What's that bird up there flying?" And the other chicks will go, "Oh, that's an eagle. That's the king of the air." But we're chicks. And it will carry on living its life as a chicken because it doesn't know any better, and it will never ever spread its wings and fly because it doesn't know it can.
Yeah.
So that's essentially who we are. We're disabled because we don't know who we are and we don't know our true power. um, and this system not only keeps us as children, but it keeps us, as I said, distracted and fearful and locked into the left brain because we're always having to be analytical, especially since we have to deal with money. So we have to keep account of money, keep tracking it, and keep sort of our mind in detail, and logic oriented state, whereas we don't spend enough time in this side of our brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Creative.
don't. If we can realize that, as far as the system's concerned, we are the creators, we are the masters, right? And we're not lowly servants of government and all these corporations and everyone we think of as an authority over us. We are the authority, right? And that's the first thing to start to realize. We are the authority, and it's not about. And I get this a lot from people who are taking their first steps into challenging the system. It's not about writing some declaration or some document and getting it authorized by somebody to say, I'm a man now and I'm a sovereign man or whatever. No, you already are. You've just got to start acting like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Grounded yourself,
And
standing up.
yes, um, it kind of starts at school. When the bully is coming after us and beating us up for our lunch money,
Mhm.
um, we're taught now to, don't stand up to the bully, run back and call the teacher, and a
Yes.
teacher will deal with the bully, and we kind of hide behind the teacher's legs while the teacher's dealing with the bully. Right? That's not an adult way of dealing with something. Okay, the adult way is to stand up to the bully, right? And yes, you might end up getting a bloody nose and a black eye, but that bully isn't going to come after you next because he knows that he's going to get a fight. He'll go to the weaker ones that he can bully. Yeah. And you'd have
Yeah.
learned a lesson that not only is the bully not all powerful, but you are more powerful than the bully.
That's
Right?
true.
And that goes with the government and all these authority figures. Yeah, if you start to stand up to them, yeah, you're just learning to stand up to them. Yeah, you might get a bloody nose. You might get slapped down, right? But you'll learn from that, and you'll get stronger from that. Okay,
Yeah.
and the system will think twice about dealing with you again. Yeah, and the next time it does, you end up having to deal with them. It gets easier to deal with them, and you won't get a bloody nose this time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
um,
true.
and that's it. That's really the first step, and we'd better all grow up pretty quick because the bully is coming after us, big time now. They're rushing ahead with their mark of the beast social credit and digital ID scheme, and all their measures that are
Hmm.
being rushed into place now, and it's being rushed in because, again, this is in the Old Testament. They've run out of time.
Yeah, that's
This
right. Yeah.
bloodline. Yeah, this bloodline. They were given a temporary blessing. Yeah, and that blessing came in a period we call the Renaissance. So literally, they had 500 years to do what they were going to do, and
And
now time's up. Time's up, and
they,
their system is falling apart, and this is their last gasp to essentially take as many of us with them as they get when they go.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. That sounds like that. Just yeah, they know the ground is completely full of the ashes. It's only completely burnt, so they don't have to go anywhere. But yeah, like I said, that's yeah, they taking yeah, wow. But what you actually mentioned just about the standing up for the truth, standing with the power, and to all the institution who thinking they've got the power over us. Just sounds for me, if you really truly believe in yourself, if you open your shoulder and just only walking really straight and the grounded and trusting, like just when you mentioned that jumping from the cliff and just only trusting the universe, God, whatever your beliefs are, then you won already. That
Yeah,
decision, that
yeah,
intention in your head, that's how I'm just doing with my own living. So that's my truth. I'm speaking from my truth, and nothing is against me. Everything is coming to me.
sure. Now, when I'm helping people with dealing with council tax or utilities or even parking tickets or whatever,
Mhm.
um, you always find people who come in and go, does it work? Is it safe? Can I do this? It's like you're not ready to do it yet. If you're
If you're saying
scared
that,
about, yeah, you know, it's like again the bully's coming towards you and somebody coming to you saying, you know, am I allowed to hit him? Or
no,
am I
yeah,
allowed
that's
to
right.
defend myself?
No,
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe not yet. Wait.
You're not ready. If you have to ask, you're not ready. Yeah. Um, it that and again, I don't want to offend anyone, but that is a cowardly attitude, right? It's there are people out there who okay, so whenever there's something to stand up to, you always get a kind of vanguard, a small group of people who take the risk. Yeah, they're the first to stand up and try things. And even though they know they might get beaten down, right? They'll stand up and try things, right? But then you get this whole group of people who will not stand up and try things until it's completely safe to do so.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
so they'll sit back and let put your head above the parapet. And if it's now safe for them to do it, then they're going to come out and go, "Yeah, I'll do it too as well." But no, this is the time. If there is
It's
any
now.
time in history when courage is required, and to hell with the consequences, right? That time's now because they're coming after us. If they get their way, there will be a slavery in this world that mankind has never seen, and it's only a temporary slavery because the slavery is there, so that they can exterminate you, without any trouble. That's because the extermination of mankind or of man is the goal. as I said, there's a second species here
Yeah.
who hates man, and their goal has always been extermination. They make it sound nice and not nice, but less psychopathic by calling it depopulation.
Yeah.
You know, but it's extermination. And if you've been sort of looking, or you had your eyes open the last two or 3 years, you could see that they're well on their way to achieving their goal already. And those who didn't succumb to the gene therapy, right, and who aren't going to die of it in the next few years, sorry
Yeah.
to say, that's what the prison system, the social credit, smart city, digital ID prison system is there for. Those people who survive, this Holocaust, right, is going to go into this prison system so that you can be picked off individually so that nobody else will know. If you're locked down in your little cubicle, and I don't know if you saw, do you ever see Black Mirror?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't see the
Uh,
Black Mirror. But you said that when you looked in the black, what can you say again? The black cubicle?
no, Black Mirror.
No.
It was a TV show, a TV
Oh,
series
sorry,
where,
I didn't watch the TV. That 15 years ago, I
okay.
just only throw away my TV. And since I just born, I didn't watch TV at all, to be honest. Maybe twice. Because I'm completely out of this.
Yeah, so am I. I haven't watched it. I haven't actually got a TV I haven't had on for 20 years or so. But
Yeah.
every now and again, somebody will say, go download this series and watch it because there's some information in it.
Okay.
And
I know what you
and
mean.
this
Yeah.
series, was actually showing what the future, the various viewpoints of the future that they've got in mind. And one of them is a man who lives in this box cupboard. Essentially, that's his house. It's a one room, and everything is in this room, and food is delivered to him. The walls of this room are a TV, and literally he stays in that room or goes to a place to work and then goes back to that room, and that's his life. But that's the life they've planned for us. Stack
Yeah.
and pack us in these mega cities, confine you to a room, and so you don't know who your next door neighbor is.
And 15 minutes here,
Yeah,
15 minutes here, 15 minutes here.
but that's only a temporary waypoint. Yeah, the 15-minute city. Then it's going to become right the 1 minute neighborhood. Don't need to go out of your house. Yeah, because anything you need, there'll be a drone along to deliver it to you. Yeah. And then all you'll be able to do is go outside for 15 minutes. Get some fresh air. Now you're back in, like being in a prison. You get a few minutes out in the yard, and then you're back in your cell.
Yeah.
But once everybody's in their individual little shoebox, then you don't know if your next door neighbor just got murdered. You don't know that. If they kill him and cart him away, you never know. So
Yeah.
mankind could just end without anybody in mankind know about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's what
that.
I loved it. I love the way to being in the tribe, like the ancient time and the people living. When I just came from the small village, that my old childhood was. We've been living maybe that was a 20 in our place, and we know each other, and we just only help each other. If somebody was ill, my grandmother straight away go there and just only look after that lady. And my goodness, I've got the goosebumps everywhere. That's confirmation. I'm talking truth. So that would be helping each other, which is only gathering each other every Sunday. Like my grandmother was guiding that meditation. Actually, that meditation, that was a prayer. So every Sunday they're meeting. That was lovely. I remember myself, I was involving there. But nowadays, like you said, we are living and you don't know your neighbor, to be honest. Actually, now we moved from London outside finally. Oh, hooray. So so now we've got a really nice neighbors, so we can talk and chat each other. But anyway, we attract them because we change our vibration as well. So that's why it's
Yeah.
all about the emotion. People need to change that vibration, that all the baggage on the ways from their system.
I actually one day I went to the street that I grew up on. Um,
Mm.
I hadn't been there for a good 30 years or so.
Oh wow.
Now, when I was a kid, when I was a child playing on that street, right, um, there would be maybe 20 children, and they'll be all out there playing football, and the girls
Yeah,
be skipping, and you know, would be building camps and doing all sorts of things, right? And but they'd always be out there, children out there playing all the time. I
yeah.
went down my street, no one, zero, nothing. Um, and yeah, and I know that any children that are there, they're at home on their Xboxes or their Sony PlayStations, and you know they're playing, you know, somewhere else. You know, that's not in the real world. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
the world has changed drastically, um, and you know we've kind of seen it, but not taken any notice of it because our grandparents would always say, "It wasn't like this in my day," you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying it as well, you know. um, and even my son, who's like like 20, 27, 28 soon. He basically said, you know, he said it himself, it's not like this when I was putting when I was growing up, you know. So
Really?
yeah, it's been accelerating that change away from the collaborative society that it once was, yeah, because it was at one point a very collaborative place. You know, where I lived in America, you know, we'd have street parties. You know, we all knew each other. We would, you know, play cards at each other's houses and do all sorts of things. But no, things have changed drastically because life has got harder, obviously intentionally, and where you know if you're in the system, you're having to pedal harder to go the same speed, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I remember myself as well. I was playing outside, and also my kids. Even we've been living in London, we had a small place to play. So I was push them. Actually, I was a little bit give that push, a little bit force. I don't like the word force, but I was just only saying them, go play outside in front of the house with another kid. So they know how is that
mm.
play. They know that sense. They know that feeling. It's that good to be in the tribe, good to be in the community. So I strongly believe I plant the seed. So there will be another generation which one is going to leading and showing the others how we're supposed to live. So how we can help, how we can, like I know you said encouragement and we need to support each other, but is any different way we can show the people is a tribe and standing up for the truth is really, very crucial now for nowadays.
It's actually quite simple, right? You always start with you, yeah. You change yourself, and the world will change around you. That's the way it's always been, yeah. And you know, again, it sounds too simplistic, but you know, I keep saying to people that the world is much smaller than you think, and you are much bigger in that world than you can ever believe, you know, ever imagine. Right?
Yeah.
Um, it's incredible, you know. When I was searching for you know for the truth of about life, um, I would end up things would come to me, yeah, because I was searching, yeah,
You're focusing. That was,
and yeah, because I'm focused, this stuff will come to me,
yeah.
and because of the way I've gone about it, because I you know I make videos and stuff, I do get some of the feedback that you know most people don't get feedback. Yeah, they change their lives and they affect people around them, and most of the time they don't get feedback. They so they don't see the effect they're having on the world, right? But yeah, just me, some stupid bloke from Basildon, making a video or two about what I've discovered and what I think. You know, a lot of people say that's inspired them, and that's it. That's what our job is. If you change yourself, right,
Yeah.
you will inspire others around you, and in turn they will inspire those around them, and so on and so on and so
Yeah.
on. You know, it's no good railing against the world saying, oh
No.
no, I want
Yeah.
this change. No, you change yourself, right? And again, be the change you want to see in the world.
That's amazing because you've got the purest heart, you've got the purest intention. So that's why you've got that beautiful feedback from another source. That's how I can see. That's how I can sense. Because sometimes the people just only blocking themselves. They think they've got a pure intention, but not really like that. They've got a lot of stuff to do inside them. They're still judging and etc. That's a lot of stuff. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm not going to say I'm a saint or anything because um, I've noticed recently that there's obviously still something of the system still in me because uh, okay, so I'm helping lots of people, and I'm finding that there are a lot of people out there that um, how can I put it? They see me offering my help for free, and they see it as oh, it's very difficult to describe. There are people out there that you know, if they can get something for free, you know,
Okay.
that's a challenge. Yeah. So you know, they'll try and get one over on the bank manager or get one over on the school or whatever. And
Okay.
I'm getting people who think they need to manipulate me to get me to help them, and if they can get away with, you know, for getting my help for free, it's like a win for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it feels very disrespectful, you know, to me. And I've yeah,
Yeah, I know
sorry.
what you mean. What goes around comes around, and what they're giving, they're going to receive back. So if they're treating somebody this way, they're going to give it back 3 times, 4 times. So I didn't believe that strongly like now, because if you're treating, you know that stuff. If you're treating really poorly somebody, you're going to receive that
Mhm.
stuff as well. So it's not the
Yeah.
purest heart, it's not the purest love, and yeah, that beautiful emotion. So definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
So because of that, sometimes I'm helping somebody with gritted teeth, you know. Yeah, you can do,
yeah,
there you
oh.
go. But yeah, no. So yeah, I'm not a saint or anything. So
Okay, beautifully. Um, shall we just only wrap it up? Because I don't want to hold you longer. You are far, far away. So would you mind just only say something to the people who are watching us if they would like to have a beautiful life from today? So what they supposed to do?
okay, well, I will go back to I'll go back to the Old Testament actually.
Oh,
There are a
it's
couple of
okay.
books that were left out. Yeah, you're glitching again.
I
Yeah,
know, I know,
Max
I know.
Headroom.
Keep carry on. Thank you so,
Max Headroom. Yeah.
thank you so much.
Um, yeah. So there's a book that was taken out of the Old Testament called
Yeah.
Second Esdras.
Oh.
Second Esdras, and to me, that's the most important book out of the whole work.
Mm-hmm.
And what it tells you is that this life is a game. It's a contest, right? You are in a contest with yourself, okay? And so you're on your own individual test. So it doesn't matter about everybody else, right? It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You are being tested, okay? And the test is not only very simple, you've been given the answers as well, okay? Because the test is which path are you going to walk on? Are you going to walk the righteous path or the wicked path?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the answers are already with you because they're written right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, you know what's right and what's wrong. And if you do wrong, you will start to feel uncomfortable. You know, if you're going to steal something from somebody, yeah, somebody, and I give this example: somebody gets up next to you, and you see that he's left his wallet on the seat. Yeah, if you go to steal that wallet, yeah, you're going to be like, make sure nobody sees you, take it very surreptitiously, and then
Yes. And then,
you know you're doing something wrong. Yeah.
yeah.
But if you were to pick that wallet up to run after him and give him his wallet back, you don't care who sees you. It's like, oh, the guy's left his wallet. I think he's over there. I can still catch him, right? And when you give that wallet back, you get this great feeling that you've done something good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So the world is weighted towards being good, right? So you've got no excuse. You've got no excuse. You know what's right and what's wrong. Your game is, do you walk the righteous path or do you walk the wicked path? Right.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. My son used to play this Star Wars video game. And started off as a little kid with a lightsaber. And my son would have to make decisions for this little kid. Right. And depending on the decisions my son made with this little kid, right, that kid grew up to be either a Dark Lord or a Jedi.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that's the game. Which path do you want to walk on? And you better, you know what, you better make the right choice, because if you end up at judgment with a low score, it's not going to go well for you. So remember, it's a game. And play well. That's it.
Yeah, set up your own rules, to be honest, because I knew the rules another side, because that would be that would be kind of the movement. You'll be know how to play really nicely for yourself.
Again, you already know what's the right answer. It's right here.
I would like to only add something, because you just only said about that feeling. So definitely, if the people watching us, definitely that feeling is in your tummy. So you feel that scarcity, you feel that, I couldn't describe actually. Sometimes when you just only saying somebody something not really nice, and then you've got that feeling, you feel it. Actually, you feel it. You need to start feeling. So unravel that feeling inside you. Stop being numb and just only start feeling more, and feeling more sense. Yeah, that would be a great way how I can say it. Definitely.
I have a video on my channel called Navigating the Matrix.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I talk all about that in that video. So you might want to watch that.
I will. I definitely. I'm going to watch, because to be honest, 2 years ago, I just only started searching your video, but I didn't see anything. And now I just only pop up and just only subscribe it, and all the videos just only, I don't know, magic. Okay, is anything helped you during this life? I mean, when you had a really challenging time, when you had a dark night of the soul, any mantras, any prayer, any meditation, any book, maybe somebody helped you, something really, really crucial. You had that tools inside you, and you've been really well navigated through that challenging time.
Nothing specific, except asking questions, right? I would say also being successful. Being successful isn't making money or having a big flash car or whatever. Being successful is having a goal and working towards it. That's it. If you've got a goal that you want to get to and you're working towards it, then you're successful. Right? It doesn't matter if you even reach that goal. The fact that you're going towards it, right, makes you a success.
Yeah.
So what's helped me is that I've been able to go from having one goal to the next, to the next, to the next. And I've been on this roller coaster ride, which has taken me through well, it's taken me all over the world. It's taken me through all these different um, rabbit holes, and it's been an exciting game, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and be joyful and feel that, yeah, and grateful for everything what is coming towards for you.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Where the people can find you? Where the people go and subscribe it and listen more and more and more and more about you, about your work?
Yeah, so I've got a website called allegedlydave.com.
Okay.
So do you want to try say that again?
No, thank you. Maybe why not? I'm not okay. Let's go. You challenge me. Say I'm not going to block myself. Alleged. 1 second. Allegedly. Oh gosh, maybe not wrong. It's wrong.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, there you go. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedlydave.com.
Thank you.
I've also got a Telegram group that I've got two Telegram groups actually. One's called Ask Allegedly Dave, and that's for Q&A. And for stuff to post and discuss and that, I've got Allegedly Friends. So if you look for those on, and my YouTube channel is dmurphy25.
Okay, so we're going to post it under this video so the people really easily can find you, and if they would like to ask any question, they probably will be going to the Telegram and they will be asking you the question. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. That was a pleasure to meet you and talk to you today.
You're welcome, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much.